I found this piece on Facebook Marketplace, and the moment I saw those carved columns and that little leaf detail on the top drawer, I knew exactly what this piece could be. So it's time to get to work. Of course, always starting off with removing all the hardware. And you see here, I'm labeling all the drawers, which I highly recommend because that way you can put the same drawer back where it belongs. Blowing away those cobwebs and dust, and then adding some floor protectors because it was a little rickety. And I always start here with the cleaning. No matter how good a piece looks, there's always years of dust and grime hiding in every groove and joint. And if you skip this step, nothing else sticks properly. She was in pretty good shape though, I do have to say. And due to being in such good shape, I only had to get out my 120 grit because there really were no areas that I had to sand down. I just needed to rough up the surface a bit. So pine wood is sneaky. Those knots will bleed tannin straight through your paint, no matter how many coats you put on without a good primer underneath. I learned this the hard way with a bedroom set I refinished for myself a few years ago. Time to mask the drawers, and I'm curious if you do this. I've seen both ways, and I've tried both ways actually, where I can mask the drawers for spraying or just leave them in and spray them. Which do you prefer? Always sanding between coats, getting ready to paint her. I'm keeping with my 120 grit here. Time for my Bondo wood filler, and again this piece was in fairly good shape, so I didn't have too many dents or dings to fill in. There were a few on the top and on the sides, as you see here. And here I am using my mouse sander. I didn't mention earlier, this is the sander I've been using, and so far so good. It works well. Adding another coat of primer, making sure she's good and sealed. And then of course I sand again in between coats. This is the 120 grit. And this is always my favorite part, time for the paint. This is when she really starts coming to life. I'm using Bear chalk paint, and it's called Silky White. Always test the flow and then get started on your piece. Here you'll see that I'm going back and forth a little bit too much, and I'm still learning with this paint sprayer, but I suggest you do straight, even strokes to save some paint as well as not get any drips, which I did get a few. And then here's where I make my homemade chalk paint, and this is with plaster of Paris and 1 cup of latex paint. It's called Coastal Villa. It's the Sherwin-Williams that I get at Lowe's. And then I put in some water. So my plan here is to paint the base as well as the top. So I start with the base so that way I can flip her up and do the top without causing any damage to the paint. Painting the top was a little awkward, I should say, because it was a taller dresser, but I did get it done. And here she is, ready to be stained. So I get out my sander and sand it down again with 120 grit, making sure she's good and smooth, ready for her stain. And I'm using the Minwax Dark Walnut. And I paint it on first. I use these little disposable brushes so that way I can just toss it when I'm done. And I always let it sit for about 8 minutes. That's the color I like to get. So once it's been sitting for 8 minutes, I will get a clean cloth and start wiping off the stain. It's nice, I find this stain's very forgiving. So if you do mess up or have any issues, a lot of times it's not even noticeable. Hand painting a few touch-ups here and there. And then it was time to clean the hardware. I kept the original. Then it's time for the top coat. I use Polycrylic Minwax, and I like to use my spray gun. It gives a nice even coat, and I add multiple coats to make sure she's protected for everyday use. And then I'm adding back the original hardware, cleaned up and put back right where it belongs. And here she is. From a $100 marketplace find to a completely transformed dresser with those beautiful white columns, the walnut stained top and base, and her original hardware. I never get tired of this moment. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more transformations, I'd love for you to join me. Just hit subscribe, and I post new content every week. And I'm curious, would this piece belong in your home? Drop a comment below. I always love hearing from you. See you next time. Thanks for watching.